Joe was great. Yeah, that's that electric power, and I thought it was one of his better just pitching performances. Yeah, I thought he had a very good curveball today and threw it for strikes, knew when to get it out for a chase. And there were times when I even thought his changeup was a breaking ball. It had so much depth to it. So his secondary pitches were on today, and he was able to ramp it up there. He was a pitch almost 90 and still hitting 97. So it was a real good day for Joe.
Mike, we get the announcement that Matt was cleared of a concussion, but what can you share as to actually what went down out there?
Well, you guys probably saw a quick pick that got hit in the head and the forehead, and just kind of a headache, a little bit of dizziness, and so that's stuff we pay real close attention to. We're going to err on the side of caution. He came in and just off a little bit, which I understand that explanation, that description, and it's better to go ahead and find out what we're dealing with. Unfortunately, the medical people got on top of it right away. He passed all the tests he needed to pass to be ready to go.
Mike, was that something that got worse through the course of the game? I mean, did he come in after a few innings out there and just say that it intensified?
Well, even right away, he said, obviously it hurts when you get hit in the head, and he felt that but didn't really feel anything else. So when he came back in, the trainers gave him a couple quick tests to kind of see how he responded. It was okay and seemed to get a little bit worse, or some of the tests were responding a little different. So at that point, we weren't going to push it.
Did you see exactly what happened? Was it Hanley's shin that hit him? Or
yeah, I don't know what it was that hit. I mean, it happened so fast. I don't even think timeout had been, or ball had been put in play yet. So, I mean, it caught all of us by surprise, Matt included.
Is that when you obviously are very familiar with that? Is it when he goes and has the test during the game? Are they comparing it against baseline stuff? Is it
yes.
That? Okay.
Yeah.
So it goes at it. Mike, what for a guy who is still relatively young as a pitcher like Joe Kelly, what's the difference between, or what does it take to be the difference between going 6 innings consistently and going 7 innings consistently? That seems to be a pretty big wall for young guys to break through.
Yeah, I think it's tough. It's tough on anybody. I mean, we had him on a short leash going out there into the 7th, and if he had gotten any trouble at all, he'd have been coming out of the game. But it's just continuing to make good pitches and getting into that position. Typically happens by attacking the strike zone. He got some deep counts today, and he seemed to work through it. But he got into a groove where he was trusting his stuff. He was trusting his fastball. He was trusting the movement. He had one of those heavy sinkers today, and when he has that, you start seeing those ground balls like he had. Those are quick outs and quick innings, and he had a real good 6 there too, and those led to him being a little bit more efficient to push him a little further into the game.
Seemed like he could go to that too when he was behind in the count early.
It's a challenge, yeah. I mean, that's when you have that kind of velocity and that kind of movement, and you're making those pitches in the bottom of the zone. You get behind. Say you don't make a good pitch with one of your secondaries, that pitch is going to be there to bail you out, and you just trust your defense to make a play.
What does it mean for you if he can become that kind of quality start generator? That you, I mean, to have 3 of those guys,
Yeah, he should be, and I think he demands it. And I think Shelby Miller is going to be that guy too. And right down the list, every one of these guys have that potential. Carlos has still got some work to do to as far as efficiency goes, as far as trusting his stuff and pitching a little bit more. We're seeing strides in that direction, but the other guys have all shown that that's what they can be, and that's who we need them to be.
Was there a different approach offensively today against Greinke, or was it just today you guys won the battles that he'd won previously?
Grinding at bats. I mean, you look how it started with Carp at the top. He gets down in the count and fights and taking some tough pitches and finds a way to get on base. Matt getting a big hit, and then Adams coming up and jumping on one. I mean, it was just it's a great start. We'd like to add on more. We always do, but you're not going to get much when you have those caliber pitchers out there.
What's your thoughts on Katars and his first time kind of catching Kelly and getting him through that?
Yeah, George did a real nice job. Spent a lot of time, following him, what he was thinking, how he was preparing, how he was challenging guys, where he was setting up, and he did a nice job. He gave Joe a real good chance. Joe, I think, helped him along a little bit at the beginning to let him know what he was thinking, and after that, George caught on and did what a veteran catcher does and stays with what's working. And I thought he had a nice approach to the plate as well.
Is he okay? I mean, he came out you pinch hit for him there in the 8th? Was that just?
Yeah, no, he's fine. Just given, we're in a tight game right there. Got our closer coming in. We got Tony was going to hit in that inning anyhow with the lefty coming up. Familiarity sometimes with the catcher and the closers can be a good thing.
Do you go to Borges there to replace Matt so that you have Allen as a bat later?
Yes. Yeah, and improve our defense since we have a lead.
Like how big were the 2 outs that Nishek got for you? He seems to do it, time and again, but that was a real tight spot for you.
Yeah, and we were kind of, he threw a lot of pitches last night too, so hoping to get Freeman through it and kind of keep Pat at least just kind of warmed up in the pen and not have to use him. Sam, I think, was a little rusty from the break and felt he felt a little off today, and Pat came in and did a great job of bailing him out. All right.